Hello, is this on? Testing, testing. Y'all, I am back. I haven't done our casual live chat since Costa Rica. That was in February. Now it is almost 420, April 20th. And we're finally back. I feel like I need to be better at just making YouTube my home and being comfortable speaking with the camera and speaking with my audience. But also, there's like an element of, I don't know, digital modesty where you don't want to like be giving out too much information. But it's also like YouTube has this different feeling of this being the platform for that. Like you should be able to come to your YouTube channel and talk about anything and all that. So I am just going to take some time to basically talk to myself because I'm not expecting anyone else to be here. But happy Easter if you are going to be joining. There isn't really much to watch tonight unless you're watching sports, but I'm just not in the mood to watch sports recently. And I hope that this audio is working. I see my microphone working. I know my computer is like a little bit laggy, so hopefully everything is at least running on y'all guys' end. Because so far right now, nothing is loading. But I guess we'll just run with it. I'm Alex. Welcome to this live chat. It's not going to be super focused on anything jiu-jitsu related, although WNO 27 was last night. And I was completely unaware that you can, I don't know, I don't think this is in direct partnership with Flow Grappling or anything, but someone was like streaming the event on Twitch. So I got to catch some of it because I no longer have my Flow Grappling account. It ran out in February. Um, but yeah, if you guys watched that event, let me know what you thought was one of the craziest things. The caption or the thumbnail of this YouTube video is, I forget what the three things are. I think my Jiu-Jitsu dreams, which I don't even know why I put in there. I don't even have Jiu-Jitsu dreams really. Um, Favorite grappler, and then hilarious memories. Okay, I want to make a full video of the first time I ever met Craig and we all had like a night out. And you know when you just like don't know what to expect when you first meet someone? Like you know how they say like don't meet your heroes and stuff like that? I was so nervous to meet Craig for the first time, and I feel like that would make such a hilarious YouTube video content. It's just I want to partner with people who are interested in telling those type of stories, and I've been trying to hire out of the Philippines and support my homeland. And some of them have just been straight up bad. Like one of them literally lied about their hours, and they did this twice. Like I asked him how many hours he worked and he was like 36. And then I was like 36 hours just for like uploading 10 YouTube shorts or something like that. And he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry. I actually worked 18," which is still a really long amount of hours. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh. This is just the next step in my journey of trying to expand my little business and digital marketing and all that and having to trust other people to be my employees." But I think that's the hardest part about the recent things that I'm working on is the hiring process. It's so hard. Like it's so hard to find good people that you can afford because anyone in America I can't afford. Uh, and I don't want to like and that's why I don't want to hire friends because I don't want them to be offended with how much I can pay them. That's why God bless my graphic designer's heart, Zach Sherman Arts. He's so talented. He makes all my thumbnails. All the most viral graphics that you guys have ever seen on Craig Jones' invitational page, they are made by him. He has such a good eye. Oh my gosh, I want to show you guys the recent one that he just made me. This is going to be such a sneak peek because I have no idea if I don't have Slack on this phone. I'm recording on this phone. But basically, maybe I'll just let it be a surprise. Maybe I'll just let it be a surprise. But it's so funny. He's so talented. Okay, let's see. I downloaded anonymous questions on this like not gonna lie link that I was doing, but my computer is acting so damn slow right now that I can't even read them. But hello, if you're here, welcome. My social media manager, Rodrigo, is mad at me right now because I couldn't hang out with him in Miami. I'm going to text him. I'm going to be like, don't be mad at me, Rodrigo. Don't be mad at me. Look, I literally just sent that text. Don't be mad at me. Please, don't be mad at me. Miami, it just, oh my gosh, drained the soul and energy out of me. Full moon last weekend. How was that for you guys? Was it intense energy? Because it was definitely pretty intense for me. I realized that I have just been feeling empty inside and thinking that like dancing is going to make it better. But actually, when you do that and you are opening up your heart to like just a bunch of fake love, like it's fake love and it doesn't do anything for you, it doesn't fill your soul, and it actually will make you feel more empty. And so today hi Chris, I love how you always stop by. Sending you love in Arizona from AZ. I don't know if that's what your name stands for, but Chris, let me know if you've ever had an experience of like, I don't know. Sometimes there are like really productive partying experiences where you'll go out and you'll like bond with the friends that you're out with, and it's just such a healing experience. Whereas there are other times where you go out and you're just like, you got the itch to dance and you're going out with people that you don't normally go out with. And then you're like surrounded by always like men just trying to come up to you. And like, I don't think men realize when women go out to clubs, like they're not really looking to find a man, like they're going out to dance. Whereas like when guys go out, I don't know if they ever go out just to dance. Like I feel like guys go out to get girls. So like there's just such an awkward dynamic, and that's why I think the energy can be quite draining for women if you don't know your intention on why you're going out and all that. There's 6 people in here right now. Hi. I know there's no UFC fights to watch right now, so maybe that's why you're bored watching YouTube. But welcome. My name's Alex, and happy Easter. I went to Catholic school and I'm not religious anymore, but after Miami, I basically stayed out all night till 6 a.m. with some friends and woke up at 11 a.m., went to breakfast and then the beach, and then I literally had my suitcases at the beach and went straight to the airport, got back home to Vegas. Um, Felt fine Saturday, Sunday, and then I think it was like a delayed sickness from the traveling and the partying. And when I tell you that Lucifer was really coming from my body, he really came. Like I was fever, and I don't even have a thermometer here, but it was definitely in the hundreds. And it was crazy intense that this reaction happened to me. And now today it is Easter and the Lord has risen, and he's like trying to be like, damn, Alex, like fucking, you got to be careful with the people who you're surrounding yourself with, because when you're out and about and your heart is open, there's like going to be people who try to like sneak in and like not necessarily hurt you, but like they could be plotting something. Which honestly brings me to the fact that like who can you trust in this world? Like who do you know that you really trust with everything? Let me know if you have anyone. And if so, is it more than 5 people? Is it less than 5 people? Who's in here right now? Yes, Kairos, what's up, homie? It's been so long. I feel like I haven't heard from you in forever. Thank you so much for always supporting La Loba, the people in Combate Global in general. I thought Ariel was a little out of out of touch with one of his responses. And I know President Campbell just likes to talk trash, but when Ariel said that Combate Global is completely irrelevant, I was like, I don't know about all that. Now you look at, you know, Ramiro Jimenez, Puas, they're going to Dana White Contender Series. Like, Combate Global built them. La Loba gets eyes. I think Combate Global is really underrated, and I think that people will start to recognize that, especially now that they added Shane Faison to the commentary team. I thought he brought so much knowledge, and anytime there's like replays, I'm like, Shane, you handle it, you break it down, because You are so good at explaining things. I never would have thought you had to deal with that. Gotta be frustrating. Yeah, it definitely has been somewhat frustrating. So the website that I've been using is onlinejobs.ph, like um, for the Philippines. And there was like one guy that was like $1 an hour, but then he eventually stopped replying, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess that doesn't shock me. And then the one guy that I was working with, who has been actually uploading a lot of the stuff that you guys have seen in my recent YouTube shorts, he was doing such a good job, but he was the one that was kind of lying about his hours and stuff. And I was like, damn. And then now I have a new guy who is super sweet and super responsive and just willing to learn, which I think is the biggest part. So yeah, that's all I want. But like when you create so much content on something like jujitsu, it's kind of important to know. I mean, even the difference between someone who can work combat sports and jujitsu, like it's almost like you need to know the humor of the jujitsu world because there's like so many different storylines and all that. All right, guys. Yes, don't be vulnerable unless it's like the time and place for that because being vulnerable is also really important. Like, when are you taking the time to be vulnerable? I feel like right now I'm taking the time to be vulnerable because right now I could be in the clubs in Vegas. Like, there was this one guy that invited me out tonight, and guys, like, I'm ready for a boyfriend. I'm ready for a boyfriend. I had the 2024 single, um, and then other than like getting over my ex-boyfriend, like all completely celibate, and like now I'm like ready to have a boyfriend, and I'm ready for that commitment. But obviously, when you kind of like live in Vegas, it's hard because everyone's like a fighter, and I don't want to date in combat sports. So now I'm talking to this new person, not actually talking to him. Like, literally, this is like somewhat new. But just, isn't it crazy how low effort people can be? Like, why is it that people think that inviting someone out to drinks is a date? That's not a date. Am I wrong? Am I tripping right now? Like, trust very few. And that's the other thing that I was like thinking. I remember I was so in denial of moving to Vegas because it's so small. Like when you move from Southern California and then you move to Vegas, everyone in Vegas knows each other and like knows each other's business. And I remember I was like, yeah, you got to someone told me like when I moved here, they were like, yeah, you got to be careful with what you do there cuz when you do it, everybody knows about it. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. Why would you tell me that? But I guess it's true because I actually do know more than I should for no reason about other people. So, you know, that's just the way it works. Oh my gosh, Christian, how are you doing? Um, yeah, I think a lot of people like Combate Global. I think Ariel was just like given Campbell the attitude um, that he felt he deserved, and I didn't really agree. Like I think everyone kind of lives in their own world and has their own perspective. So like if you watch WWE and you're like actually into that, then you think that WWE is important. Whereas I'm sitting over here and I have not watched that stuff legitimately since I was like 12. I even auditioned for the WWE here in Las Vegas in 2021. And I remember part of the reason I didn't get it, or the main reason I didn't get it, was because I was chubbier. And I wouldn't even get it now because I am still a little bit chubby. Like, you have to get into really good shape to be a WWE star. Unless you're thick, unless you're slim, thick, then they might choose you. But yeah, I'm so happy that I didn't get the audition for WWE because it's literally what pushed me into jujitsu. Wouldn't that be crazy, guys? If I got the WWE audition, I could be on freaking, what do they call that stuff? SmackDown right now instead of hosting CJI, the biggest submission grappling event in the world. Think about it. Cheers to sobriety. Tomorrow is 420, and I will uh, be supporting everyone and everyone's decisions. How's everyone doing here tonight? I don't want to be like just talking your guys' ear out, but I freaking love and appreciate you guys for being here. Happy Easter. Happy Saturday. Um, if you've been here for like a long time in my journey, thank you. If you're new, welcome. Okay, now it's time to look at some of these questions. Because we took a truth serum. Oh yeah, and I have very fun news. If you are a jiu-jitsu athlete or a someone here in Las Vegas, I'm going to be working with a few different companies, and one of them is Ready to Roll Jiu-Jitsu. I'm going to be getting a discount code that's like, I don't know what percentage off, but you'll get jiu-jitsu specific workouts. And I've been doing all the workouts, and I really think that it's been helping with what I'm trying to do with my life, which is jiu-jitsu all day, every day. I haven't competed in a minute, and I know a lot of people want to see me compete. So I should probably do that soon. I want to get the itch again. I feel like I really lost the itch to compete, or like maybe I just never really felt comfortable competing on my own. No, I guess I have been comfortable competing because I've competed by myself like a lot. I think for a while I was like not down to commit to one school. And I think that's why it's hindered my growth a little bit. And that's probably why I'm technically still a white belt, because you know when you just like bop around too much and no one's like, "Am I your coach?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Are you my coach?" Maybe. Anyways, all I know is I just want to spend all day, every day doing jujitsu. I'm so happy I quit my corporate job. If you are watching this and you are unhappy with your corporate job, ask why. Is it a specific person? Is it the pay? Do you not like how they're treating you? Is the work that you're doing not energetically stimulating to you or aligned with the type of person you are? Like my one fighter friend used to be a pharmacist. She's a fighter now. Used to fight for Combate Global, fighting for CFFC now. But it was so funny, like when I was like baby cat sitting, and there was like a Pfizer cup um, in her room, and I was just like, this is so not her. Like not that I don't, all the politics around like the COVID shots and different that, but like it was just like so random of a thing for her to have. And then when I left, she texted me, she's like, "Oh yeah, I threw that away like when I got back," and I was like, "Yeah." Because the only reason she had it was because she was a pharmacist that used to like work for Pfizer and all that stuff. And I'm like, I couldn't imagine. And I think that's what's like the hardest thing for me right now is that like I can tell that I'm at a point where my career is really going to take off in a certain direction. And I'm happy because I have control over what that is. But I remember like when I first got out of college, my goal was always one thing. And now I'm like, am I even aligned with them? Am I? Like, could I really like work for who my dream job used to be and be like, oh, this is where I'm meant to be? It's crazy as you age. Things change. Things change. Okay, so here were some questions. Guys, I need a freaking new laptop. What am I gonna do? I'm poor. I'm really hoping y'all don't mind the mess that's behind me. I've been reorganizing. Oh, is there music attached to this? I aim low, I aim true, and the ground's where. Wow, watch this live chat get demonetized now because of that little bit of music. Okay, my last name is Wendling. Wendling, it's German. I know I haven't been super active on live chats before, and every time I get the StreamYard notification that I've been billed for $50, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get back on the live streams. Hip toss, definitely have been doing a lot of that. Sorry, these are like moving real fast. If you guys haven't, thank you, Louise. I appreciate you so much. Sorry, guys, my computer is lagging so much that I can't even see these. Ooh, covering boxing. Maybe. I'm at a point where I kind of just want to like focus on regular sports, but there's just so many different things going on in regular sports. I feel like you have to like pick a team and just be almost like a beat reporter or something like that. Best local restaurant in Virginia, Coastal Flats, of course. I don't know when I was dancing in a Twitter clip. This person like brings it up a few different times. How many hours do you slackline? My favorite month. I love a good summer month. I feel like August is a great month. August is a beautiful month. CJI will be in August, so you guys will get to see me do my thing. At least I think. Who knows? You never know these days. Sometimes you think you're like working with people, and then the next thing you know, you're not. Have you ever thought about marriage and kids? Hmm. Have you guys ever thought about marriage and kids? Okay, I'm trying to remove this. All right, what are my thoughts on marriage and kids? I feel like it's really unlikely, like, it's very rare for a sports reporter to want kids. Like, I feel like the common theme right now is career, career, career. I don't want kids. I don't want to worry about that baggage and all that. And it just makes me so happy that someone as inspiring as Megan O'Leary right now is super pregnant, continuing to work, and all that. Because I definitely see myself having kids one day. And that is super exciting to me. But first, we need to just get a boyfriend. Then we worry about all that. The thing is like, I'm the type of person where when I get a boyfriend, it becomes less about me and just like by nature, by who I am, my life starts to like help fuel their life. And so it depends what they do for a living. Like, that's why I'm very particular on who I want to date and why I want it to be separate from everything combat sports, because like I don't want more energy being given to this like not cesspool that I've already given so much energy to, but definitely uh the wild wild west of combat sports. Like I would love, and I feel like it's so important in relationships, like you want the person that you're with to expand and elevate you. And I feel like by if you're only dating in the pool of people that you're like constantly in, you're making that pool of people that you'll ever meet smaller and smaller. And that's why I think it's good to challenge yourself to try to date people out of your specific niche. Now, the question that I feel like, because I feel like it's really easy for guys in combat sports to date girls that don't do combat sports. But I think it's like a common, I don't know, Reddit thread that you'll see like girls like, how can, if you do like jujitsu or if you do Muay Thai, like how could you date someone that doesn't do any combat sports? I wish there was more like girls in here to give their opinion on that. Like, could you really not find a guy attractive that couldn't defend himself in a combat sports term? Because I feel like even if you do combat sports, like someone with a gun can just like pull up. Um, oh my gosh, there was one really funny meme with this guy with a pink beard. I wish I could just pull it up quickly for you guys, but because my laptop is so slow, I'm not going to be able to do it. But basically, he was like, someone came up to me recently and asked me, what was it like, the journey, getting your black belt? And he's this black guy with a pink beard, and he's like, jiu-jitsu? I don't have a black belt. And he's like, and my name ain't John, but I got a gun because jiu-jitsu will get you shot. Oh my gosh, it was so much more funny when he said it. I can't remember how exactly it went anymore. But now I'm gonna pin, like, I'll make a short, basically, of me trying to explain it and then the actual video, and you'll be like, wow, you totally butchered that joke. Um, Christian, where am I supposed to send the autograph to, brother? Brother. Kairos, that's beautiful to hear. I envy people who had their shit together early. It's taken a while to figure my shit out and what I truly desire and not only go after it, but remain focused. Like, I used to think that I was like kind of lucky in college because I knew what I wanted to do. Like I knew I wanted to be a broadcaster and stuff. And it's so funny because only recently I'm like, should I go to nursing school? Would that be a good side hustle? Because now that I'm fully freelance, it's kind of draining going to all these different events. And so it's just so funny to me that you say like you used to envy people who had all their stuff figured out because like sometimes people who have all their stuff figured out early, then they get there and they're like, "Oh, is this even what I wanted?" Is this even what I wanted anymore? I don't fucking know. I don't know. Like, and like things that used to matter to me don't really matter to me anymore. Like, I remember when I was younger and just like getting into the sport, even not even that much younger, like literally 2 years ago, I was just so like obsessed with wanting that microphone pick and like feeling like I was a part of something bigger than just my YouTube channel. Like I used to talk crap about my YouTube channel all the time. Like people would be like, "Oh yeah, well what's this interview for?" And I'd be like, "Oh, it's just my YouTube channel. It has like 300 subscribers. I'm just like kind of practicing right now." Like I would like talk down my work. And now that I'm older and thinking back, like all of that negative self-talk really had an impact. Like I think there's like a balance to it. Like I think it's kind of funny to be self-deprecating sometimes, and that's definitely my sense of humor. Like I'll make fun of myself all the time. But there's a difference and you can feel it in your subconscious. And I think they also talk about how like your brain can't tell the difference between you joking around. So that's why saying like ha ha ha, I'm dead every time you're like laughing isn't good. I don't know. That's kind of taking it to the extreme, but I do think like words carry a lot of power. I don't know. That was just a random tangent that I went on. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try to look at these questions over here because it is just way too laggy. But if you have questions, please ask them in the chat. They can be kind of deeper. Like I feel like the questions have been like kind of just like not deep. Like I want to fucking help you guys with your life. Like do you have a question about some shit that went down? Like I feel so lucky because I haven't, and knock on wood, had to deal with like any extreme feelings recently, like a breakup. Haven't had to deal with that in a while. Grief, like really intense grief, I haven't had to deal with in a while. But I feel like in those times and though feeling those emotions literally changed me psychologically. And I feel like because I have grown so much within the past few years, like I feel like that's why I've gotten different opportunities because now I feel like when I interview people, I can like empathize with them so much, like on a completely different level. And so I feel like that's like such a big blessing that I've had recently, like really realizing that like if you want to be a good interviewer, you really have to like, I don't know, you have to realize that everyone is just like a mirror of yourself. And that when you're asking questions and you're asking, and if you want to like get into the insecurities of someone else, or if you want to get into things that they don't want to talk about, like they have to feel comfortable being around you. And like people don't feel comfortable around people who haven't felt those emotions deeply because then you can kind of feel that in their energy. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on with me, guys. I was literally losing my mind last weekend, like losing it. Because I was like having the fever, but then I was also PMSing, and it was just like a combination like of craziness. And also like when you live in a place like Vegas, it's so dense that like trying to survive out here without some type of boothang is kind of difficult. Whereas like in Southern California, there's like just so many distractions that you can go to the beach, you can go like I don't know, just do fucking Southern California things. Whereas Vegas, the only real things to do here are the strip. You could go rock climbing and stuff, which is cool. But like I've never taken myself rock climbing. Oh my gosh, even slacklining. Like I want slacklining to be my little solo adventure activity that I do. But even that, I'm like, I kind of need a man to come with me to do it because this like making the slack get super tight, you have to be really fucking strong. Not even just strong, like grip strength. Like I'm such a bitch. If you if I have to do something too hard, it hurts my hand. But I could still do it by myself. But I'm not gonna lie, like every single time gone slacklining by myself, a man has helped me set it up. Like they see me struggling and they're like, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not gonna say no." When I was on the way to Miami, I was like on the way with my slackline and I was like worried about setting it up. And I was like, there will be a man there that will help me. And literally within 2 minutes of me setting up this slackline, there was a man there to help me. But I'm like, God damn it, I want to be able to do this by myself. It's just those things are freaking like hard to do. Louise, thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate that. Okay, remind me to send it to your house, Christian. Christian is the number one diehard fan. Although, Christian, you're like a fan of everyone. I want to be your number one, Christian. I don't want to share you with everyone. I feel like you're in all the popular MMA podcasts, and I'm like, hey, only me. Just kidding. I don't create enough content for you to only be on my page. I want to, but it's just YouTube is the like machine that never ends. Like you can always create more content. And that's why you think that like, oh, quitting your job, you're going to like be happy following your dreams and all that. Okay, well, yes, that's true. You're definitely going to be happy at not working for the man, but then you're going to have to like work 10 times harder to make means. And I really do mean that. But and that's part of the reason why I don't know if I could like continue just doing jujitsu stuff because the audience isn't big enough to make the money back that the time it would take, which is really unfortunate. But I'm not gonna lie, I've been watching some jujitsu things and like jujitsu's dead recently. There's just not that much fun stuff going on. And then the freaking press conferences or like the trash talk is literally just, oh yeah, I feel like my game is all around better and all this and that. Oh, okay, I haven't talked about my favorite grappler. Let's see. Favorite grappler. Who's your guys' favorite grappler? I feel like a lot of it is. Um, oh, I didn't even realize I clicked it. Damn, that's real. Comfortability with vulnerability is definitely a gateway into others. Everything I've always ever wanted was where I didn't want to venture to. Where's somewhere that like you didn't want to venture to? I feel like vulnerability is definitely very, very huge. Um, oh, okay, so since we were just talking about favorite grappler and vulnerability, Adam Bradley, literally sweetest soul ever. You guys should watch some of his content. I don't know. He's a prime example of like what jujitsu can do for you and like giving you confidence and I don't know. I really, really like his story. He's also like an arch nemesis of Gordon Ryan, so that always makes it fun seeing them talk crap. Guys, was I really literally almost about to cry on this freaking live chat? That's kind of crazy. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. This laptop is being slow and it won't load the questions. I think I remember some of them, but I don't get it. Like this Mac, I guess, is kind of old. How old are your guys' Macs? Because like, do I need to replace this stuff? Okay. And if I do replace it, like I'm wondering what I would even replace it with. Anyway, welcome to my room. The only thing that it's missing is plants. If you guys have plant recommendations, please let me know. Oh, I remember one of the questions on my anonymous question link now. It was like, okay, asking for a friend, what is the youngest guy you would date? I'm currently 26 years old. So the youngest that I would date, and this is new news. This is breaking news, people. Because I used to think that literally the idea of dating a younger guy creeped me out so bad. So bad. But now that like 26 isn't exactly like young, you know? 21 would have to be like the minimum. I don't know if it's just because of like the age of drinking comes to mind, but I don't know. Big age differences is definitely a thing. Like if you're the older person in a big age gap difference, you need to realize that your experience in life makes you more capable of manipulation. And I think a lot of people who date younger women who are older men use that like a weapon. Like they use their experience in life to manipulate girls or young women into thinking that they need them or that the girl even wants them in the first place. Like the way that they're able to like manipulate situations. And usually when guys are much older and they're trying to get girls that are much younger, there's some type of narcissistic personality disorder going on, because the whole reason that he wants the younger trophy woman is to feed something in his ego. And at the end of the day, everything just comes back down to what part of your inner child is not healed yet. And so for a lot of these guys, the issue was that they didn't get a lot of attention when they were younger or when they were in high school. No one really thought they were attractive. No one really thought they were cute. Now, how do they compensate with that? They try to get like some type of young girlfriend that they can like flex on. Or maybe like part of their inner child was that during Christmas they never got any presents and they were poor and people were making fun of them. And so now they get a sense of entitlement or they get a sense of feeling good about themselves when a girl without much money comes to him and is being provided by him, and like that fills something in their inner child. Like, you know, like everything comes back to your inner child and like the parts of you that you have chosen to neglect and not heal. All of your problems, all of your insecurities. Like if someone says to you like, "Hey, your work isn't good here. Can we kind of review like what you do?" And you immediately get defensive and you're like, "What do you mean my work isn't good?" I don't know. If someone is like saying something about your work isn't on or isn't how it's supposed to be, that shouldn't be like immediately triggering to you. Unless they were like, "Hey, this is crap, you suck." Like that's different. But if someone just saying like, "Hey, the way you delivered your hit wasn't good." Like for me, when I got back into regular sports, coming from combat sports to regular sports, like let's say, remember the role that I did with GFL, like the social media person? Like you're supposed to be like fun and bubbly and like acting a little bit silly for that kind of role because that's the job. It's not like a professional sports reporter role. Whereas like when you're covering baseball, it's very serious, like a serious sport. It can be kind of fun, but you're not like a social media host. And so for me, like my first time getting back into covering regular sports, one of my, not my main producer, but one of them who's just like, "Yeah, maybe just tone it back a little. Like you can tell that you're coming from combat sports and the energy of combat sports is, we are live and we are here and we're going to scream because this is the freaking wild west of sports and blah, blah, blah." Whereas like in baseball, you don't freaking do that. And so like my immediate reaction or immediate thought was like, I don't think he's right. And then I thought about it more and he's like, "No, he's right. Like, tone it down." Like, why did I immediately like feel like he was criticizing me? I don't know. Something in my inner child that may have been like not been able to take criticism well or constructive criticism well. So that's like something that you have to figure out on your own, is like, what are your own shadows? Like I remember one time when I was working with one promotion that I don't work with anymore, they said something along the lines of like, "Hey, the person that does this role is supposed to look sexy, like be sexy. So when you like choose your outfits, please consider looking sexier. And I'm like, okay, first of all, this is like before I had a manager. I only recently got a manager within the last month, like this year, I got a manager. So I've handled every part of my career on my own. And so when you're like a young woman in the industry, you want to get respect. And so one of the biggest things that I always focused on was not dressing any type of way to distract from what my work is as a reporter, like telling a story. But then you get into these situations where you're like hired to be a sports reporter, and then your job is changing into like being a in-venue host, and now I have to dress a certain way, and like I don't know. That's kind of weird. Like, should I have immediately gotten like so pissed and not wanted to work with them anymore? Eh, maybe not. But like those little things can kind of make you look at the mirror in yourself and be like, why was that so triggering for me? Like, why is someone telling me that I should be sexier in my professional setting upsetting to me? And then I had to go back into my own background. Like, I used to do the jobs at the clubs and dress a certain type of way for jobs. And so maybe that's why I was like immediately like, you shouldn't have any say on like what I wear for my job. But anyway, let's see. Briefly thought that was a chunklet on the bed. I was like really just thinking about all the crazy things that could potentially be like in the background of my room. And I put anything that would have been extremely embarrassing away because I'm like, the last thing you need is something crazy going on. Um, what was that one situation when a woman's she's like a UFC fighter, her like DMs or something got leaked and they were all just like the craziest pornographic stuff. I can't remember who it was or what happened exactly, but it was fucking hilarious. Oh my gosh, it's just been 40 minutes and I've just been yapping this whole time. I feel like this is so therapeutic for me. Thank you guys for joining. Lazy Bed, what's up, homie? Dude, have you been able to keep up with everything that's been going on with like everything? I will be back in Miami on uh I will be back in Miami on Tuesday. I will be there for the weigh-ins, and I'm going to be much more thoughtful with how we do the IG live chat. This last trip just happened all so fast. It was a blur. And now, this upcoming trip, we have the return of Joey Mendez and um, the Kraken, Zamora. And I'm just so excited to keep on getting better at commentating because commentating is hard, not hard, like I'm not nervous at all. Like I'm much more nervous to do like an opening hit or something like that. Like commentary is cool because you just get to talk the whole time, but I think the difference between commentary and um, silent reporting is I feel like it's easy to be really okay. I said this the other day. It's good. It's easier to do the commentary role, but it's harder to be really a really good commentator. Whereas it's harder to do the sideline reporting role, like memorizing something like a minute hit and making sure you deliver it in the minute that you're given. Because the sideline reporter, they can't just ramble for like 2 minutes. You have like a certain amount of time before you have to get off the air. So I think it feels easier to be a commentator, but I think it's harder to be a good commentator, whereas easier it's harder to do the sideline reporter role initially, but it's easier to get really good at it because you kind of just memorize and then you deliver it and then you can kind of like get that rep. Whereas like commentary, I feel like you have to it would be creepy to be told you need to dress sexy for that kind of position. Yeah, I definitely think most people would agree. I definitely would say like one of the biggest things that I'm looking forward to in the future of my career is helping out other women that want to get into this industry, especially young women who want to get into the industry, because I've never had to do anything. Um, like I've never had to compromise my role, morals for a role. I've never, and there like obviously are going to be opportunities everywhere you go to do some type of crazy stuff. For what? I don't know, but there's always going to be that opportunity, and um, I feel like there's a lot of like girls that look up to me and what I do, and I just feel like I have so much knowledge, and I do. There are like certain regrets that I do have, um, like sometimes speaking out isn't the right thing. That it pains me to say that, but sometimes speaking out is not the right thing to do. Um, because like you think that that will help like situations and stuff, and it usually doesn't. Like you'll usually kind of just find out the hard way that that was like not the right thing to do. And I'm not talking about the promotion that I was just talking about or anything. I'm talking about something that happened early on in my career. um and I guess like my biggest advice for that is that my dad also gives me is like being a duck, like letting words like float off your back, especially if you're going to work in something that's crazy like the combat sports world where people kind of just say anything. Like you'll have, oh my gosh, I'm going to blank on his fucking name right now. Bryce Mitchell, who, will obviously say what he said about Jewish people. But like, are we just all going to ignore the fact that he's like homophobic and he constantly says stuff about, oh well, the gays do this, and I don't like that. I'm like, we're just gonna be okay with him saying that? Like, okay, yes, what he said about how he would want to be Hitler's homie, or I don't know whatever the fuck the quote was anymore, but whatever he said in that terms is like freaking crazy. But it's also just like everything he says is crazy. Like, how can we be in this day and age and he still be a prominent figure when he like is openly against gay people, and then you blame that on your religion? Like that is just fucking weird. I need to not curse because I don't want to get this demonetized. So that will be the last cuss word that comes to my mouth. Also, the Lord has risen today, so let's try to keep things PG. But yeah, karma is such a bitch. I have not heard about Bryce Mitchell other than the fact that he got super, super put to sleep. And I feel like that is phenomenal news. 100% get what you're saying. You're able to flow on commentary, which seems easier, but flowing smoothly can be tough. A 60-second hits are easier as a whole, but delivering it on point first take is tough. Delivering it on point first take live, um, it's hard, especially in this day and age where everything is so instant gratification and your memory is probably not nearly as good as it could be because you're doing all this social media stuff. That's why I had to quit my full-time job, y'all, because TikTok brain is a real thing. It is a real thing. The only way that I would ever get into full-time social media work again is if I'm given a team and I'm at that looking at it at like a macro level. Like I cannot be in the weeds doing the edit, trying to keep up with the trends. Like that is a job for a 19-year-old or like younger, to be honest. But even then, I can't get behind it because your brain is still developing so much and you're going to be spending your time doing that. Like it's not the move. And for the record, I think Rogan and DC should show a little bit more skin on the broadcast. Yeah. How come those guys never have to wear a sexy dress on the broadcast? Come on. Oh my gosh. They're definitely a fun duo. Lazy Bad, I think you were watching Combate Global, so I hope you enjoyed Shane being part of it. I think that was so good. I need to get my YouTube people to like comment on the Combate Global because all you could tell that Shane told all his people to watch. They're like, "I'm here for Shane. I'm here for Shane. I'm here for Shane," And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to tell my minions to comment, we're here for Alex. We love you, Alex. Um, yeah, because it's Combate Global. We're going all YouTube. No more paywall with the Fuse TV. If you have Samsung TV, you can catch us there. But guys, I feel like this was a really productive chat. I really wanted to be able to answer these anonymous questions, but they're not loading. And my computer is like overheating for no reason. We crushed it. Did a good job not stepping on each other. Yeah, I love that. I also feel no need to, like, I work so many different gigs that I don't feel the need to, like, make every moment mine when it comes to the gigs that I work. Like, I'm so aware that it is a team thing and that when you're working a broadcast, not everything's about you. I think you can tell when people work broadcast and they're like really trying to like interject themselves into it. And I think sometimes it's good, and I think for my personality, I just don't really feel like I have to do all that. Dope content. We love you. I love you, Michael Lobo. Got the wolf, got the king wolf going on. All right, let's see if we can look at some of these questions again. They've kind of I used to play basketball. I'll show you guys some highlights. They're not that good, but they exist for sure. Is this playing or loading? I have not been able to watch any WNBA just because I don't have YouTube TV, which is so frustrating. I do eat steak. I love electronic music, but I'm definitely hitting a point where like the music I'm listening to is getting old. So if you guys have recommendations on what I can listen to, like I want more soul in my life. Like I want soulful music in my life. Like I want lyrics that I'm like, fuck, that was so good. But nothing like is there just not that good of music out right now? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm just done feeling empty all the time and like listening to the same EDM stuff that I've been listening to. Okay, every now and then like for a workout, it's nice. But yeah, like literally this past weekend in Miami was my realization of just like the emptiness that I'm trying to fill when I go out to these raves and stuff. Like there's just no substance anymore. Granted, if you want a good time, and people like talk shit about electronic music all the time because there is genuinely trash electronic music out there, but when there's good electronic music, it is actually transformative. And the best place that I've gone consistently is Antique in San Jose, Costa Rica. I could move to San Jose, Costa Rica if they didn't have a damn train that ran through the whole city honking the entire day. He literally like you cannot you cannot go an hour without hearing this like and it's just the freaking it is the freaking train letting everyone know that he's coming through the city. I'm like, why does he have to honk like that? Like, there are some places where the train will just run through. So, like, people could be walking and the train will come and people with their AirPods might not hear. But I don't know. San Jose would be the perfect living destination for me if I could find a place that, like, wasn't affected by this train. But the train literally goes through the entire city. I have not seen one neighborhood that is not influenced by this freaking train. Check out Duran Jones, The Indications. They're like a modern throwback to Motown. Interesting. YouTube music has a lot of R&B and soul. I don't know if I'm a big like R&B girl. Like I want to be, but like part of me is just very ADHD. That's where the electronic comes in. Cuz electronic is good at keeping your attention. How many hours have you done rock climbing? Guys, I haven't been rock climbing at all. I feel like that's why my arms don't look as good as they used to because I've been doing more MMA and striking. So my arms should, like, in theory, get much more shredded because I'm doing more of that. But I miss rock climbing. I just can't do all three of the activities that I like to do, like slacklining, rock climbing, MMA, jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is the one that takes up most of my time. I don't even know if I should be spending as much time as I am with jiu-jitsu because, like, I'm not really planning on competing that much anymore, but I just like it so much. I don't know why. I just jiu-jitsu is my little love bug. Even though it's the freaking worst, like, you have to, like, go and touch people and then people pull on your hair and shit, and I'm like, don't pull me. Don't pull on my hair. Okay. I am so surprised that we've had like 12, 15 people in here. Oh, guys. Oh, my StreamYard stopped on this end, but it didn't stop over here. Sorry, I thought that this wasn't even like logged in anymore. What were we just talking about? Sorry. My computer just shut down, but I guess this kept going. Okay. Add to stage. Huh. Dude, I have no idea why this is doing this. Anyway, guys, my computer's lagging super hard right now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix it, but thank you guys. I was just about to say, like, I'm so surprised that there have been like up to 15 people in this stream. I didn't think there was going to be anyone. I let people know on my Instagram that we would be doing this and on my Twitter. But yeah, maybe there's just like not that much to do tonight. Um, and I took my magnesium, ready to go to bed. Open mat tomorrow, 4:20 tomorrow. Um, Oh my gosh. I was drinking my coffee out of my morning combat mug. I never had any issues working at morning combat, let me tell you that. I'm happy the foundation of my career was built learning from morning combat and making social media clips for morning combat, because at least when you like are making social media clips, you're making social media clips with substance, because everything that you are making content of is a Luke Thomas or Brian Campbell breakdown. Those were the good days. Those were the good days when that was my main hustle. All right, y'all. I can't access these questions, unfortunately. But if you have been here this whole time, make sure you drop a like. I have no idea if I'm going to keep this up because we've kind of talked about some juicy things. But, like, also, I don't really give a fuck if anyone finds out that, like, a promotion I used to work for said stupid shit. Because they did say stupid shit, and I don't work for them anymore. So, yeah. I'm happy with all the decisions that I've made in my career, but I definitely am excited to make some type of master course of like how I can help other people do do the same thing. Cause I don't know how much longer I'll be doing this fun stuff. I remember like right as the Combate Global last show was about to start, I said to in my little microphone, and then Shane and Rodolfo could hear me. I'm like, all right, well, time to do the dream job. Like, call fights and then pretend like it's work. Like, this isn't work. I fucking love doing this. Like, I feel so lucky. I feel so blessed. Like, this is the shit that I have been working for since 2020. So it's been 5 years. Pretty crazy. Um, and yeah, and then you really realize how like small the community is, and I don't know, everything's just smoke and mirrors. Like, genuinely, I remember when the first time someone told me that one championship was smoke and mirrors, I was like, what do you mean? There's no way. That's just like, uh, what is it called? exposure bias. You have exposure bias because you live in the United States and you don't live in Asia. Like the people in Asia think one championship is great. I don't know what your guys' opinion about one championship is. I like one championship, but is it smoke and mirrors? Like, I feel like when you work for different promotions and then you see how all of them come to life, like, it's so funny how, like, even though broadcasts and all, and even shows, like, look impressive, it's funny, like, knowing the behind the scenes and, like, knowing how unimpressive everything is. I don't know. It's fucking trippy. But there are also some really good productions as well. I remember the first time I went to a UFC fight, it was when Jorge Masvidal retired and Israel Adesanya knocked out Alex Pereira, and it was a really good event to be at. But even when I was at the event, I was like, damn, I kind of enjoy like just watching the UFC events at home. I don't know. Anyway, this little rant I had no idea was going to last a whole hour. I'm so happy about it though, because sometimes it's just fun to like spend time with people who are interested in talking to you or hearing from you, which obviously you guys are because you're on my YouTube page right now. Um, Versus like trying to go out and be social in Las Vegas and like have surface level conversations with people that you know don't give a crap about you. I have like a jaded viewpoint on Vegas. It's like growing on me a lot, and I really think I'm starting to like certain people here. But I think in general, like it is just such dense energy. Have you guys ever lived somewhere where you didn't like living there? Happy Easter in 420. I didn't see any of these comments. Cool logo in the upper right. Yeah, I completely forgot that was there. I mean, it's fitting. It's live. And it's just me rambling. So, welcome, Dave. I don't think I've ever seen you in my live chats before. I kind of have like an OG squad of people that like to hang out. I do want to figure out a way that I can like make these things more entertaining. Like if I know the questions beforehand and I'll like put them on the screen and all that. But again, that'll take hiring some people. Wait, Dave Sandine, you changed. You changed your logo. That's what threw me off. Team MK. I love one and a good smoke and mirrors magic trick. Hey, if you can make something look good, I mean, what was your guys' reaction with the GFL news? Did we ever like get confirmation on what exactly? It was just an investor that didn't show up at the right time. Oh my gosh, Kairos, you've been in Michigan for so long. I'm excited for you to explore somewhere new. I definitely think that change of scenery is always good, but also if you're just like constantly moving and you can't pick a spot, it's just like, okay, wherever you are, you're there. Be productive wherever you are, because that's kind of what my issue was within 2024 and like dealing with my breakup. I was just like bopping around everywhere, becoming a travelholic. Like, not becoming, I was a travelholic. I spent way too much money on one trip. Wow. Yeah, I was literally at Combate Global when Rodolfo told me that. Because I've been living under a rock lately, people, when it comes to some of this MMA news and all that. Sometimes you just need to like distance yourself from things. Expensive trips are fun. YOLO. It was definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. I mean, the only reason that it was more expensive, oh my God, guys, I got a freaking story for y'all. My brother is my older brother, but he's like my younger brother because he is just so silly and he doesn't have like nearly as much life experience as I have. Like, and I don't mean that in like a belittling way. I just mean it in like a matter of fact way. Like he didn't go to college and he didn't like get that experience. And I feel like you learn a lot of things about yourself in college. But anyway, he's just so cute and precious, and I miss him. But he moved out of Vegas right as I moved here. Not right as I moved here. We lived here for like a year together, and now he's gone. And I was very upset, and I got very mad at him. And when I was getting mad at him, I was realizing that the only reason I'm mad at him is because he's my brother, and I love him, and I want to like live with him and be with him. And so I was like, how can I even really get mad? Because I know that I like where my madness is coming from is just a place of love. Anyway, he was supposed to come to Costa Rica with me, and I don't want to take him on a trip that he is going to be roughing it. Because if I'm going on a trip, I could get the cheapest freaking hotel. And one time I did that in San Clemente, and the whole freaking place was just crackheads. Like the front desk person was a crackhead, the cleaning lady was a crackhead. You would think that if the cleaning lady's a crackhead, that the place would be clean, but it wasn't clean. If you're, I hate to say it, but if the cleaning lady, this is actually kind of, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Anyway, but basically I can rough it, and I didn't want my brother to rough it. So I like got, you know, nice hotels and stuff for this Costa Rica trip. He gets on the plane, gets through security for this trip, and he's literally sitting on the plane, and he's going to have to connect in Dallas or whatever, somewhere in Texas. And he's sitting on the plane, and they're not taking off. And so he's looking at takeoff, and he's like thinking about how long it's going to take for him to connect to his next flight. And so he's telling the flight attendant lady, he's like, hey, if this plane doesn't take off in time, I don't think I'm going to make my connecting flight. Like, I think we need to leave now, or else I'm not going to make it. And so the people on the flight were just like, okay, well, you know, we're not leaving right this second, blah, 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 blah. And they didn't explain to him that if you miss your connecting flight, your airplane people will just make it so that you can get on a different one. And so he literally is on the damn flight already. He gets off the flight, calls me, and he lets me know that he was scared that he was going to miss his connecting flight, so he's going to try to get a different flight or whatever. And I'm listening to him, and I'm like, are you in the car right now? And he's just like, I know, I messed up. Like, he doesn't travel that much. So he literally was already through security, did all this work, leaves the airport, and then the flight that he ends up being able to rebook, I forget what exactly happened, but he ends up just not coming to the entire vacation. So this 10-day vacation that I had planned with us, he completely misses. And the reason why it was going to be problematic for him to come like a day late is because I had the rental car that we were going to drive 3.5 hours, actually even 4 hours down to Costa Rica. But this was all meant to be because this was like a trip that I had actually done already with my ex-boyfriend, and I had to experience the trip on my own. Like, I had to make that 4-hour drive by myself. I had to experience this entire scene without male energy. And it was just like the best vacation of my life. Like, I actually needed to be alone. But at the time I was so sad. I was like, fuck, I just spent so much money, and now my brother's not even going to be here. I'm not picky. I just want a lot of sun, kind of south. That's it. I'm a plant. Being a plant is like the best thing that you could be. Just enjoy, absorb the sun. Take him mountain climbing, cheap, fulfilling fun. He is not a heights person. He's like not a sun person. He's like, I don't want to be in the sun. Wrinkles. He gets his ideas, man. Brothers, I'll tell you. Nothing like your older brother. Okay. Genuinely don't understand why this won't work. All right, guys. I was really going to try. Okay, I have one last idea. I'll airdrop this. Because it just gets to a point where, like, there's too many questions that I can't even answer them all because there's too many. And part of it is I'm wondering, Christian, if you're still here, do you ask like 70 questions? Are all the questions from you, Christian? Because sometimes I feel like they're all from you. And that's a lot of questions that you asked. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I want this. All right, y'all, we might be onto something. We are getting. Christian, are you sure it's not you asking all those questions? Okay, so I guess it is just random people online asking me questions. I love mountains. I went to the Dominican Republic, or I was working with Karate Combat, and then I extended my stay in the Dominican Republic, and I went, what is it called? Racketeering, and like waterfall exploring. It was amazing. Do you watch wrestling? I don't watch professional wrestling at all. I don't collect CDs. You should have been a model instead of covering MMA. Ha! I always think it's funny when people ask me, like, why don't you have an OnlyFans? And I'm like, because I'm not sexy. Like, people think that, like, it's like a modesty thing. I mean, yeah, that's part of it. Like, I don't want to, like, make that my job. But, like, you, at the end of the day, OnlyFans is just a form of content creation. At the end of the day, if you're a content creator, you need to be aware of what sells for you. And like for me, that's always been like storytelling or interviewing or honestly, like I don't even care if it sells for me because I usually like the basis of my content was to become a good interviewer so I could book more gigs. And that's worked for me. Like going viral and all that stuff didn't really become relevant or important to me until I was working this full-time TikTok job. And then even then it like didn't mean much to me to go viral. Like to some people I know it just like gets them off and to me it's like not. But anyway, like it's funny to me when people are like, "Oh my gosh, you should be a model or you should do OnlyFans." I'm like, "No, like I know what my strengths are and my strengths are not my body." Like people don't hire me for my body. I'll guarantee you that. Um Hi, can I send you two songs to listen to and you tell me which one you like more? I would love that. I would love that so much. You should do a video of how to keep a closet uncluttered. I can show you guys my closet. It is so organized right now. And I could totally give you that video and say that it is me that did all this wonderful work. But it is my mom that saved my life. Literally came and saved my life after freaking all my travel with Polaris, going to Europe, and then Kazakhstan, and then Costa Rica. And I was just genuinely not, like, I wasn't like about to be in a psych ward, but I was just exhausted. And I needed my mom. Like, how lucky am I to have a mom? That is so loving. Like, more, so patient, so giving, so loving. Like, I think that's why I'm able to do the job and operate from a place of love because my mom gives me so much love. Like my parents are both cancers. My dad's Cancer cusp Leo. I know we're like all guys here, so you guys don't probably give a fuck about horoscopes, but I think it's interesting how that shit does affect certain things. And my parents are just prime examples of it. Is it a rule to put pineapples on pizza? Today I had a gluten-free pizza, half pepperoni sausage, half pineapple onion. And it was delicious. I love pineapple on pizza. What's your ideal evening meal for you? My ideal evening meal, I mean, if I'm trying to get chubby, I would love to always have some type of risotto. Like I love like a creamy risotto and a salmon. Mm. I love lobster as well. I just love seafood and meat. And that's why dating a vegan was really fucking hard. Um, do you have a good taste at picking the right clothes? I feel like I do, but I again just have like a very weird body type, so it's kind of hard to like dress my body type because I'm shaped like a square, you know? Like I don't have that like hourglass shape that's like super easy to dress because then you can literally wear anything and look good. And like for a while there, high waisted was like the in thing, and I'm like, oh, this just does not look good on me. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. La Loba is an excellent fighter to watch. I agree. I freaking love her. She's been through so much. Like, if you know her freaking backstory, it's intense. Um, and so like seeing her shine the way she does, like, it really is so heartwarming. And now her daughter is like becoming this beast volleyball player. I'm like, yes, I love it. Wendling SquarePants, yes. Like I am SpongeBob. Lazy Bed, her mom was a newscaster, I think. She was in the Philippines. Like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like my mom was like Ron Burgundy famous here in the States. She came to the United States and wanted to be a reporter, but her accent was so thick. They told her it wasn't gonna work out. Which is so fucked up. Which is part of the reason why I don't know Tagalog because and Spanish, like both my grandma and my mom, like when you come from a different country, you genuinely feel scared for your kids to like experience what you have, and that's a big reason why a lot of you end up with the no sabo kids because kids don't end up learning their language and it for different reasons, but people are scared that they're going to be the victim of racism if they have like a thick accent. Didn't you say something about, yeah, second generation? Yes, my mom was a reporter in the Philippines, and she was a good one. She was legit. Please do more of your terrible dancing on Twitter. I did some terrible dancing on Instagram, so check it out. And I got that song because if you guys look at Boss Rutan's most recent video, it is the most wholesome video of him and his daughter. I love him so much. Have you found a new rock climbing spot? No, I haven't. I went to a new one and it just isn't nearly as good as what I had in Henderson, which was right near the jiu-jitsu gym that I wanted to go to, but it didn't work out. Do you say to yourself you look cool in glasses? I think I look dorky in glasses and I think it's quite cute. So, and I don't really compliment my physicality often, but when I put on a pair of spectacles, I just feel like it kind of does something to my eyes. Like I feel like it's just like, bloop, I'm nerdy. Um, how did you discover YouTube? The main reason I even joined YouTube was because I needed somewhere to put my broadcast reels. Like I had no intention of growing it. You look beautiful without makeup. Thank you. That means so much to me. What's the first YouTube video you watched? Oh my gosh. You think I can remember that far back? What do you do on a rainy day? What actress would you like to play you in a TV movie? Vanessa Hudgens. Have you ever thought about marriage and kids? Yes, I think we already answered that one. Gotta love the salmon dance. Someone is like obsessed with asking me questions about salmon in particular. What's your favorite ice cream flavor? Okay. Can you guys let me know your favorite ice cream flavor? Um, Thank you for thinking that I'm a terrible dancer. It's kind of crazy because sometimes I'm a good dancer, but not normally. But sometimes I am. I swear. I've seen videos. I've seen videos. I've also seen videos where like I don't look good. I'm like, fuck. Ooh, jeez. Um, why aren't you an actress? Actress, you belong in the movies. I feel like I'm pretty close to an actress at this point. Like I feel like it would have been much cooler to be an actual actress, but I feel like being a broadcast or media personality, like some of that is acting. Like when I did my one interview with Gabby Garcia, and I was like, Gabby, do you have feelings for Craig Jones? Or like, are you the one that actually likes Craig? That was acting. I was acting like a serious reporter. And people fell for it. Like people were genuinely like, who is this girl? She's trying to start beef between Craig and Gabby. I'm like, it's so funny how just oh my gosh, what's the word? I don't know why my brain's not working right now. Maybe it's my bedtime. Um, how gullible people are. Like they literally thought I was being serious in that interview. Alex, go watch the Three Stooges on YouTube. YouTube, you will laugh. Do you guys think I would laugh? Three Stooges. You were writing a movie. What would the name of the title would be if you were writing a movie? That's a good question, but I would love to write a book about Craig Jones one day. I need to like I need to start writing down like little just bits of stuff because I feel like this is going to be the equivalent of the other book I read, which might be somewhere over here. Shamrock. You guys should read that if you guys are all MMA fans. Okay, all right. Now we're talking about ice cream flavors. All right. Green mint chocolate chip or peppermint? Peppermint, gross. Or just vanilla with chocolate syrup. See, a classic vanilla, I get. I think like if we're really talking like a flavor that is just like guilty pleasure, I don't know. I might have outgrown this flavor, but like just guilty pleasure birthday cake that has like little like cakes in it. I think for me, my biggest thing is I like dessert that has cake and ice cream. So like if it's like a brown butter cake with a vanilla, that's my favorite. So maybe with ice cream, I try to emulate that with the birthday cake. Um, Best ice cream flavor ever, Ben and Jerry's Chubby Hubby. What is even in that? What is in a Chubby Hubby? I'm imagining like nuts, maybe a little bit of chocolate. I don't like chocolate ice cream. I could eat it, like, don't get me wrong. I can eat anything that's sugary, but will I? No. What are your measurements? My measurements are not impressive measurements. Do you eat steak? Answer that. What music genre? Do you own an exercise bike? No, I wish I owned a bike that I could ride around though. Okay, I think I answered all these questions. That makes me happy. Yeah, we talked about what's the youngest guy I would date. What's the oldest guy I would date? Shit. 36 max. Max. I really think that it is valuable to date someone that's your age or like around there. I think realistically, 3 years either direction or four is enough for me. My parents are 5 years apart. Wendling measurements, I think like this is 34. So waist is probably like 32. And then like my hips are like 34. So yeah, it's not cool. And like that's the thing, like you can't really get surgery to fix that. Like I remember when I was younger, I was like looking into how you could become like better shaped and stuff. And like there was rumors that Shakira had like a ribs removed. I'm like, I don't think she did that. Like I feel like that would take forever to recover from. Um Chubby Hubby sounds delicious. Just grab a Scotch Brite sponge and measure it. I don't even know what a Scotch Brite sponge is. Um, Damn, I am gonna have to like do an ask me anything and think of my own questions that are like inspiring or interesting, or I could give funny stories to them because like some of the questions are just so random. Like, I mean, I don't really know what I expect from the people that are like answering on Instagram and stuff anyway, but anyway, guys, I think that was an even longer Instagram live chat than I expected it to be. But sometimes you just have fun rambling. I feel like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders. Anyways, I'll keep you guys updated if I find a boo thing. Because life is not the same. All right, y'all. See you guys in the next live stream. I want to make this more common. So we have to think of fun things that we can do and have a good time together. Make sure you guys stay safe. It is late at night. Lock your doors. And we will see you